Once upon a time, in a quiet Javanese village, lived a kind young man named Jaka Tarub, together with his elderly mother, Nawangwulan. His father had passed away long ago, so the two of them lived simply, farming the fields to survive. One night, Jaka Tarub had a dream. He saw a beautiful woman, unlike any he had ever met. She had the grace of a goddess, and in that dream, he married her. When he woke up, he smiled to himself. The dream felt so real, so full of hope that he couldn't stop thinking about it, even as the day passed. Seeing her son deep in thought, Nawangwulan asked gently, "What's on your mind, my son?" But Jaka Tarub stayed silent, lost in his thoughts. Nawangwulan wondered if he was thinking about love, about getting married. That very day, she met their neighbor, Pak Ranu, who happened to ask the same question. "Is Jaka Tarub married yet?" When she said no, Pak Ranu offered to match him with his daughter, Laraswati, a kind and gentle girl. Nawangwulan was pleased with the idea, but she didn't want to decide without talking to Jaka Tarub first. However, every time she tried, she hesitated. What if he already loved someone else? Days passed, and eventually, she forgot to bring it up again. Then, one morning, Jaka Tarub decided to go hunting instead of farming. He packed his bow and arrows and set off into the forest. There, he managed to hunt a deer. He was pleased. It would be enough food for several days. But on his way home, a leopard appeared. Startled, Jaka Tarub dropped the deer and ran. The leopard claimed his prize, and Jaka Tarub returned home empty-handed and disappointed. As he neared his village, he noticed something strange. People were rushing toward his house. Confused and concerned, he followed them, only to find his mother, Nawangwulan, had collapsed and passed away. The room was filled with grief. Jaka Tarub fell to his knees in tears, heartbroken that she died alone. Worse, she never saw him married or holding a grandchild, something he knew she deeply wished for. From that day on, Jaka Tarub was never the same. He spent most of his time in the forest, hunting and giving meat to villagers. It was the only way to ease his loneliness. One morning he wandered deeper into Wanawasa forest, where he stumbled upon a crystal-clear lake, Telaga Toyawenning. As he approached, he heard laughter, soft, cheerful voices. Curious, he peeked through the trees and gasped. 7 beautiful maidens were bathing in the lake. Their silk dresses lay folded neatly on a large rock. From their conversation, Jaka Tarub realized they were heavenly maidens from the sky. His heart raced. Could one of them be the woman from his dream? Quietly, he crept forward and took one of the dresses, the red one. He knew that without it, the maiden wouldn't be able to return to the sky. As sunset came, the maidens prepared to leave, but one, named Nawangwulan, couldn't find her dress. The others searched and searched, but eventually they had to return to the sky, leaving Nawangwulan behind. She wept in fear and sadness. Then she cried out, "If someone brings me clothing, I promise, if it's a woman, she'll be my sister, but if it's a man, I'll marry him." Hearing this, Jaka Tarub ran home. He hid the red dress under the rice storage and returned with his late mother's clothes. He offered them to Nawangwulan. She accepted them gratefully and, staying true to her words, agreed to marry him. They lived happily. In time, they had a daughter, Nawangsi. Life was peaceful and Jaka Tarub's heart felt full. But he began to wonder. Nawangwulan only cooked a single stalk of rice each day, yet their storage was never empty. The rice even seemed to grow on its own. One day, while Nawangwulan went to the river, she left Jaka Tarub in charge of their child. "Don't open the rice steamer," she warned, but curiosity took over. Jaka opened it only to see one stalk of rice inside. He was shocked. Now he understood how the rice supply stayed full. When Nawangwulan returned and found out, she was heartbroken. "You have broken your promise," she said. "My magic is gone. I can no longer turn a stalk into a pot of rice." From that day on, she had to cook rice the normal way, pounding and grinding it herself. Slowly, their rice supply shrank. One morning, Nawangwulan went to the storage. As she reached for the last few stalks, her hand brushed something soft, her red, heavenly dress. Her heart dropped. She realized the truth. Jaka Tarub had stolen it from the start. Tears welled in her eyes. She felt betrayed. That evening, Nawangwulan stood before Jaka Tarub and said, "I must return to the sky. I cannot stay with someone who deceived me." But she added, "If our daughter, Nawangsi, ever wishes to see me, burn rice stalks near her. But you, Jaka Tarub, must not be there." With that, she rose into the sky, leaving behind her husband and daughter. Moral of the story: no matter how well you hide the truth, it will eventually come to light. Never use lies to get what you want. It may bring you joy for a moment, but pain for a lifetime.